Good morning. We're doing a little day in the life video today, and I was meant to get up like an hour ago, but my phone died overnight, so I didn't get my alarm, but that's okay. It's 8:15. At 8:30 Casta gets her medication, so I'm going to take Winston out and let the chickens out, then have a cup of tea. So this is Winston, full name Winston Pumpernickel III, light of his mother's life. Money, Brittany. Hey, you can go fast. Where Sunshine and Joy? Come on. Hello. What were you doing? Hello. Good morning. How are you doing? Hey. I have some tea while I finish editing this week's video. I work freelance at the moment, so I do have a little bit of work to do afterwards, but work has to be done in the living room. Work is not allowed to be done in the bedroom, but editing work can be done in the comfort of bed. I set this up thinking it would be a really cute shot of Casta whilst I work, and she immediately went to sleep. It's about 9:20. I finished editing. All the windows are now open because it is heating up. I think we're having like a severe heat wave in Tasmania today. We definitely did yesterday, and I think it's for the next couple of days. So it's going to be very hot. I've got some linen to do, so I'm going to do that before I get baked to a crisp going outside, and then I'm going to have some breakfast. The thing about filming a day in the life means that you have to set up the camera for every shot, which means your day in the life takes a lot longer than normal. Come on, time to get up. Come on. Come on. Oh! Thank you. Sweltering outside. It's 10 o'clock. I've got my breakfast, which I'm about to have. Homemade bread, one piece with golden syrup and a little bit of salt, and one piece with roast vegetables from last night and a little bit of cheese. Eat before 10 o'clock though. Don't be like Romy. I've done like the gross outside jobs like Mushka's toilet and cleaning out Winston's cage. And I'm going to have this and play a little bit of Pikmin. I'm playing Pikmin 4, the superior Pikmin game. Pikmin 4 is the only game I've played, and I don't see how it could get better than that. I wanted a Switch for years and years and years, but I never really thought I could justify the cost even of a second-hand one, just because I don't play that many video games. Like, I love playing Super Mario Galaxy, but I never play it. But then a family member introduced me to Pikmin 4 on their Switch and said that if I got my own, I could borrow it and a bunch of their games. So I ended up finding a cheap secondhand Switch, and I love it. Showered, dressed, putting on the moisturizer sunscreen combo. I have incredibly dry skin, and I'm very bad at taking care of it, and also I live in Australia and I don't wear sunscreen nearly enough. So I've gone into a routine And in the morning I use this Natio Sun Quick Dry Moisturising Sunscreen, SPF plus 50, and in the evening I use an overnight Natio moisturiser, and I've only been doing it for maybe like a week, and I missed a couple of days in there, but it's really good and my skin is a lot better already. Who knew that just putting moisturiser on helped things? So half of the first wash that went out this morning is already dry, and I've put out 2 more. I'm just going to strip Caster's bed so her things can go in a hot wash now as well, assuming it's fresh linen day, and then I have to make beds. And gracefully down. I don't know if I said, but I have some work that I need to finish off from last night. I think I'm going to boil the kettle and water my houseplants, and then I'll sit down with a cup of tea and finish off that work. Then I'm going to make a thumbnail for the video that's going up on Wednesday, and we'll see where we're at then. So come and make my houseplants. When I first moved into the cottage, this plant got broken and I very painfully had to remove 2 of its limbs, and I've had this for maybe 12 years. I don't know, whatever I said in that video. It needs more water. Didn't I just water you? But anyway, Mushka knocked a glass jar onto it and it snapped 2 of the limbs, and I was devastated. And a bit that I cut from the video was me saying that I would try and propagate them, but I'd done it before and I had never had success propagating this particular plant. So I was a little pessimistic that it would work, and I just said, I'll check them in a month and they'll probably be rotten. I happened to check them and it happened to be a month later, and they've grown roots! I was going to ask for another one of these for my birthday because I love them so much and they're a very special plant to me. And now I have 3 babies growing, so the talent. I didn't even know I could do it. Alright, I'm going to sit down with my cup of tea and do the rest of my freelance work, and then get on to thumbnail editing. Sometimes I get to do baking for work, so we're baking at the moment. One time someone on the internet asked me for foot pictures, but not just any foot pictures. They asked me to involve Castor in the foot pictures, so I told them I remembered them from a barbecue we'd been at, and asked them how their wife was. And like, this person was really aggressive. They were like, come on, I'll pay you this much, just send me the pictures, will you do it, will you do it? And they were sending me messages every like 2 minutes because they knew I was reading them and not replying them. But as soon as I said that, they stopped replying, and I'm like, don't you remember me? Don't you remember the fish salad I bought? And they never replied to me again. Or recently someone on TikTok asked to be my sugar daddy, but they started off the conversation by saying, do you mind if I ask you a question, beautiful girl? And I said, I mind. And then they were like, thanks so much. Have you ever been a sugar baby before? And I was like, hey, creep. I said I mind, which means I don't want to talk to you. And then I reported them. Keep them guessing. I am very proud to announce that my oven works. At Christmas time, I worked out that if you use the oven and the hot plate at the same time, the power shuts off. But just using the oven by itself, it works fine. It cooks a lot more slowly and very differently from the oven I'm used to. So that's going to take some getting used to. But my biscotti are cooking. I would really like a cup of tea, but I can't obviously use my stovetop at the moment. So I'm going to do a bit of craft. I have a few videos that I'm currently working on filming, and I think I only need to do one thing to finish that. It's a big thing to finish that, but I could work on that. And then I've got about 4 videos which I'm planning for. So I've got a lot of craft to do. I bought this green seersucker tablecloth at the op shop for $4, and I really want to make like a shift dress from it. Do I do that, or do I finish a different project? Or do I do both? I am a little bit sleep deprived, so I wouldn't mind sleeping as well, but we'll work on what we work on. It's about 2:30 and I'm having risotto for lunch, tomato and pea. Very nice, very good. I've been thinking a lot today and lately, and it's kind of something I think about all the time and have done since I was about 14. This fear that I'll be perceived as if I'm lazy, or the fear that I myself will think I'm lazy. I know I'm an incredibly hardworking person, but I also know that for over a decade I've just been exhausted. And I feel like I sleep a lot and I'm not able to do things that a lot of people are able to, and that I am not living the same life that people my age or younger are living, whether that's something I would even be capable of doing, and kind of the choices I've made. And I'm incredibly happy in my life, but I'm also really afraid of wasting it, and I'm constantly afraid of how much time I have wasted and that I haven't achieved the things I want to achieve, and that maybe no matter how hard I work, maybe I just won't achieve those things. I did a extracurricular activity. I was a dancer for 10 years when I was younger, and it was easy for me. It was, you know, as easy as breathing doing that, and people said I was really good at it, and I don't do that anymore. And I don't think I'm talented at writing. I think I love writing, and I know that that's my passion and what I want to do, but I don't know if I'm ever going to have the same relationship of success and recognition that I could have continued to have if I kept up with dance. If I had physically been able to keep going, I couldn't physically keep going, but it's still something that I have a lot of unresolved trauma relating to, and I think that was probably the only time in my life when I was doing 7 classes a week and working so hard but also deeply, deeply miserable. That was probably the only time in my life when I didn't feel like didn't feel like there was more I should be doing. And I'm sure I thought that as well. I didn't think I was talented in my schoolwork, and I didn't understand why friendships and relationships weren't easy for me, and I didn't understand why people found it difficult to like me. I have very deep-rooted, self-worth issues, and no matter how colourful my house is, a part of me will always think I should have got here 5 years ago. I should have achieved so much over the last 10 years that I'm still working towards and that I know I might never achieve. And it's just, when you're kind of filming a day in the life that you're trying to make as natural as possible. Of course, every day doesn't look like this. Some days I, you know, sleep a lot, and some days I work really hard on videos and editing, and some days I just craft all day, and I know I'm really fortunate to be in the position to do that, but I also know that maybe that looks like I'm not trying. Maybe it looks like I should be doing more, and I think that while this is a video like I'm really enjoying making, it's also putting some of those emotions to the forefront. And I was very conscious when I was thinking of making this video, like, that I wouldn't do more than I normally do. You know, it's not meant to be this beautified version of how I live, but a part of me would like a beautified version of how I live. A part of me would like to please myself and everyone who could ever see this, and that's just not possible. And I don't know if I can ever please myself, because I have very high standards and I don't know if I can ever meet them. Alright, as you might be able to tell from the eye mask, I'm gonna have my nap because I'm tired, and I'm gonna listen to an episode or two of Stella Fama, and then we'll get back to it. Life's hard. Life's long and hard and wearisome. We're back. After all my pinning and stitching, I sewed one of the bits facing the wrong way. I never ended up showing what I made, so this is the dress that is not a shift dress, but it's so cute and green and seersucker, and it needs a few little tweaks where the elastic shows, but very cute. Dinner time for little baby. Little baby Winston has come in early tonight. It's about 6:15, and usually he stays out till about 8:30, assuming it's light and warm and he's happy. But there's a rabbit that's maybe got myxomatosis that was hanging around close to his cage, so I thought, bring him in. You can have a play around the house later. Pajama time, freshly washed. Coffee medicine. Hello, it is about 10 o'clock. I am gonna do my dishes and make a cup of tea and do a bit of tidying, maybe a bit more sewing for like an hour. We had some leftover roast vegetables from last night, so I made some cornbread to have with it, which was delicious. And I watched an episode of Return to Paradise with my mum and played some Pikmin and chatted, and yeah, now I'm gonna do the dishes and let Winston out for a little bit and protect my plants at all costs, because that bunny will literally eat anything. Casper is also completely unbothered by Winston. Like, in the day, she'll go and check out his cage and see what he's doing, but by the time she gets down here in the night, she's just conked out on the couch or, you know, on the floor in the corner, and Winston's charging around the house, eating my toilet paper and coming and seeing what I'm working on. So she's out to it, and he checks on her and then goes back to careening. And this is the mushroom top I was working on. I haven't finished it because I did the straps too short, but it's very cute. Winston's away. I'm just putting on my moisturiser, and Cassie and I are going to bed. It's about 11:15, which is better than I've been getting to bed lately. So here's hoping for a good night's sleep.